Welcome. This is kvCore Odyssey, and glad you're all here. And today I have Arshad from Inside Real Estate. He is the core home director, and he is here to talk to us today about how the 360 home app works. Now, if you're at eXp Realty, and Arshad, you can fill us in more with this later, but if you're at eXp Realty, the consumer app that we have is called 360 Home App. It's the core home app that kvCore has, and this app is also offered at other brokerages and being rolled out as well, depending, but Arshad can fill us in there. So it will be applicable to all of you, even though those of you who are not at eXp. Those of us that do have the core home app, whether we're at eXp or your brokerage is using core home, you're using this and you don't even know it. And how you're using it is whenever a search alert is sent, a search alert email is sent to your prospects, or a listing valuation is sent to your prospects, or a market report is sent to your prospects via email, that's coming from the app. And when people click on it, whether they're on their desktop or their phone, it's going to go to the app. It's not going to go directly back to your website. So when I first started using kvCore, we had the Millions Map app. And I really liked the Millions Map app. One of the reasons I liked it is when I downloaded it, and if I was out with doing showings with my clients, we would be driving by, a neighborhood that we were about to see a home in, and there'd be a sign in the yard in the same area that I was showing another house. And I remember some of my clients saying, well, hey, why aren't we going to go see that one? I see a sign in the yard at that house. We want to live in this neighborhood. So, let's look. And so I could look at the Millions Map app, and it could tell me all the homes for sale near me. And I could see, that one's pending. That's why we're not going to see it. It was kind of useful in that way. And a lot of other reasons. But, kvCore really stopped supporting that app, and I had some issues with it. So I really stopped using it. So I've been looking forward to having a new app. And this particular app does way more than I could have ever even thought of. Now, I will tell you as well, this app really first rolled out, it had some problems, but it was rolled out in Florida first. And it's come a long way. And Arshad and his team have been awesome about really taking time to keep improving it. And that's what's beautiful about, brokerages and agents' relationships with Inside Real Estate, because we get to help give our feedback, we get to contribute to basically the tools we're using, and it gets improved over time. Is it instant? No, but it does totally get improved. So I'm really excited to have Arshad here to talk about the app, how it works, how your consumers can use it, how you can use it, how it's going to benefit you and allow you to have more real estate conversations, because that is your job, right? Our job as real estate agents is to have the most real estate conversations we can have to help more people buy or sell real estate. So Arshad, take it away. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Sylvia. Like she mentioned, my name's Arshad Ibrahim. I'm the director of core home with Inside Real Estate. So we're the partner behind kvCore and this new platform. So it's called a couple of different things. And the reason for that, it is a brokerage labeled app. We launched this with eXp in November of last year. It's called 360 Home. The rollout could have been better. It's come a long way since. We took a lot of the feedback that the agents have provided, and we really worked with, coaches and ambassadors like Sylvia and the other vocal agents to really get into, okay, how do we make this the best experience for your consumer? So really proud to talk about it today. For those of you who are not at eXp, this can be found as core home. It is a brokerage kind of add-on product. So you may not have it, but if you're interested, go ask your broker and get them to sign up for it. We are, and this is kind of just a sneak because I don't think we've officially announced it, we are working on an agent level app version of core home, which will probably roll out sometime towards the end of the year. So stay tuned for that. If you have a brokerage, kvCore, go ask your broker to get, the core home. If you're on EXP's kvCore, you've got it. It's called 360 Home. So just to kind of expand on Sylvia's intro here, we really wanted to take a look at, okay, hey, the kvCore website that you have, that you've put money and time into, it's really designed for one thing, and it's designed to capture a consumer's contact information, right? So your website is designed to show your value proposition, your branding, your logo, your name, and really the search experience and everything else. All those pages are to get that consumer browsing your website to give you their name, email address, phone number. Once you've got that, you're really wanting to have that contact go through a different experience. So in kvCore, we're always sending out automated emails to your contact database, assuming you set them up. I'm talking about the market reports, the listing search alerts, the home valuation emails that you can set up for each contact. When those were clicked into before 360 Home, they went back to your page, your kvCore page. That page has already done its job, right? We unfortunately live in a world where Zillow exists and Redfin exists. So if you search your local real estate market on Google, you're probably not going to be the first search result, right? It's going to be one of the other big ones. We're spending tons and tons of money on SEO. But your page has done its job. Your page, your value proposition, your branding, your logo, your name has really built a level of trust to your consumer, this person who's browsing your site, where they've given you their contact information. Now, what we need to do is build a client relationship from there. And what we noticed with kvCore, on average, most agents have about 500 contacts in their database, but they're working less than 10% of those. So if you've got 1,000 people in your contact database, you're probably actively engaged with 50 to 100 of them, right? Or maybe less. I'm a sales rep too. I go and chase the active ones, the ones that are going to close. And sometimes I ignore the lead nurturing side of things. That's really what we introduced, 360 Home, Core Home. I'm going to call it Core Home from here on out, just to prevent confusion. But that's really what we designed Core Home around is, hey, let us work that 95% to 90% of your contact database that you're not engaging with. The other thing we wanted to do is, hey, there's a perception out there in the market that agents are really, really good at buying a home, selling a home, that moving, but they don't offer value. I don't need my agent when I'm just living in a home. I don't believe in that, right? We don't believe in that. We believe in, hey, look, my agent is my local trusted expert for all things real estate. So Core Home is really more than just about search and about transacting and about moving. It's really about getting to the home over in the home ownership phase, because, hey, once you've sold a house, it's like 8 to 15 years before you have that client come around. And most people, unfortunately, will forget your name when they're ready to buy or sell a home. NAR has a stat where it's like 94% of people are happy with their agent. They will say they'll use them again, less than 15% do. So Core Home is really about that database of what you're calling past clients, stale leads, people who aren't interested. We don't believe any of those exist. It's just these are your clients that aren't interested right now, but you have to be front of mind to capture that moment in time they are interested. Because if that moment in time happens when they're on Zillow, guess what? The path to least resistance is the Zillow Premier Agent. So that's kind of my intro about what Core Home is. So, can you guys see that?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of expand on, hey, we are now moving traffic to Core Home. So if you have your clients set up on the listing search alerts, the home valuation emails, the market reports, those were always emailing from kvCore and going back to your agent website. Like I said, that site has done its job. So now what we want to do is deeper engage that client, and that's where Core Home takes effect. So kvCore is from that prospect to client phase. Core Home is really around, hey, search, showings, offer close, moving, that transaction process, and then mainly around the home ownership. This is where most people perceive that agents don't have value. And we want to challenge that because, again, you are the local trusted expert. So I'm going to go through a couple of things here, and then I'll show you what each of these pages look like. So I want to be very careful and clear here around, Sylvia, it calls it an app. It's not just an app. It is an app. It is a whole platform. What I mean by that is it is a mobile web and desktop web experience, or it's an app you can download. Think about Facebook. I can go to it on my browser. I can go through it on my phone browser. I can go through it on my app. Same kind of thing. We want to get to your clients whichever way they want to interact. So the only way to get access to the web is through these email alerts, right? Because we only want to get in front of your contact once they've given you their contact information. So if that consumer doesn't have, you don't have them in their kvCore database, and you don't have them set up on automation, guess what? They're not seeing these pages because they do want to go and do need to go through your regular kvCore site because we want to get their contact information, right? That's what that system is set up for. So go ahead, if you have your contacts in kvCore, go ahead and add them to some automation. You don't have them in kvCore, listen to Sylvia and go ahead and add them to kvCore and then get them on some automation. Now, this is a brokerage branded app, right? So we launched this with EXP and we launched this with a bunch of brokers. And we also believe that, look, if you go in and download it from the App Store, and some of you are probably doing that right now, and you go to register, you might see a whole bunch of agents pop up, right? And you're like, well, hold on, I don't want my lead to see other agents. Neither do we. So the App Store is not the desirable way for you to tell your contacts about this. And it's not, it's very much outside of agents. It's not a way your consumer is really going to find the app, because if they're looking for real estate apps, unfortunately, again, Zillow exists. So what we've done is we've given every agent in kvCore, and you can find this in your kvCore profile. So your top right, just click that drop down. It looks like a little phone with a down arrow. We've given every agent their own direct share link. So if you open this on a phone, it'll have a download now button. It's branded to you. It's got all your contact information. It's pulling all of that from kvCore.
Arshad, is it okay with you if I quick share my screen and just show it? Because I know these guys, they gotta see it. You guys, when you're logged into your kvCore, if your brokerage is using the Core Home app, you click to the top right where your name is or your team admin name is, and you'll see the drop down and you see this little phone icon with a little arrow. If you click on that, it's going to take you to this link that has, it's your link, and it's connected to your app. Okay, so I just want to make sure you saw that part. Okay, and now Arshad, continue, please. Because
I saw another message there. This is only for the US, unfortunately. We would really love to come to Canada. I'm in Vancouver myself. I would love to launch this in Canada. There's a whole bunch of hurdles on the MLS side. So this is a US app for those EXP and other agents here that are in Canada. Okay, I
want to say really quick, if you are in Canada, and this doesn't apply to you right now, if you're at EXP or another brokerage where you as an agent are recruiting other agents, at least you're going to have a good understanding of this to help other agents you're bringing to your brokerage who are using this. So there you go. There's my sales pitch. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, come back.
I'm in Canada, and I just went to the little drop down that Sylvia told me about, and it's popped up and it says download your home ownership app.
It will let you download. Unfortunately, there's no MLS access or any access. So if you download it, you won't get anything. It'll only work in the States. We're quite a bit different than any kind of app out there in terms of it's not just search. So there's, I can't be clear. I'm just going to go back again because it's very important that you use the direct share link, the one that Sylvia showed you, because that way when your consumers, it'll take them to the app to download. It will assign you as the agent. Otherwise, if you're telling them to go to the App Store, or if you've gone to the App Store, you're going to show up. You're going to see any agents that have you in their kvCore. So for EXP agents, this is very particular because you'll be in your upline, your downline, your state broker, like you'll be in Sylvia's kvCore. So you'll see a lot of other agents there. Your consumer is only going to see you if you're sharing the direct share link. So that is the best way to get them into the system. The other way, again, is the automated emails from kvCore. And by the way, when they click into those emails, it does take them to the web experience, and there's a banner that says, hey, download Sylvia's app. So we are driving a lot of traffic from the web to the app. Cool. Let me talk about the different pages, and this will kind of explain why it's US specific. This one particular. So what we wanted to do, again, is get in front of your clients, not just when they're buying, selling, or moving. We wanted to get in front of them from the home ownership perspective. And we looked at portal traffic, and Zillow has like 1 billion views. but less than 1% of those are transacting, right? So what are the other 99% of people doing? Well, they're doing two things. They're casually browsing, which I'm very guilty of. What's the most expensive home in every city I visit? I have to look it up. Or what's my home valuation? And there are dozens of these out there, HomeBot, Zillow's Estimate. These are AVMs, automated valuation models. And we see that consumers, homeowners, are going back to these again and again because there's almost an addictive desire to learn what my home valuation is on a month-to-month basis. We've used it very successfully in our home valuation emails. You'll see HomeBots built like an entire business based on, hey, track your home valuation, right? However, all these AVMs, they'll pull from property records, MLS, and a lot of times that information is not exactly accurate. How often have you pulled up a Zestimate and that number is way off, right? So when we designed this, we wanted to, wherever possible, mimic the conversation you would have with your contact. And if I go to Coach Bill and I say, hey, Bill, what's my house worth? Bill, being a coach and Bill being a great agent, won't go to Zillow and type in my address and Zestimate. He'll do a CMA for me, right? Perfect. And if you have Core Present, you should be using it. It's included in the EXP kvCore bundle. It's included with everyone else. If you don't have it, you should definitely check it out. That's my sales pitch for that one. But what it's going to do when you pull up a CMA, it's going to pull up the property range, because you know that listing valuation is art and science. It changes all the time, right? So you're not going to provide an exact dollar figure. You're going to say, no, your home today is worth $800,000 to $950,000 based on the comparables available today. And then you're going to show the comps. So it's most likely going to happen that you're sitting there at your listing presentation and your seller's flipping through that listing presentation and they find a house that they say, hey, look, you got it wrong. That house is, way too old. That roof needs to be redone. That kitchen needs to be gutted. That's not an accurate comparable. So we've taken that entire conversation and put it into the platform. So they'll be prompted once they get into the system. The first thing they see is a pop-up that says, hey, do you want to track your home value? Enter your address. By the way, most contacts in kvCore right now don't have addresses associated. But we've seen something like 80 to 90% of people who have been asked by the system will just give you their address. So we store that in kvCore that you can do a lot more precise marketing towards. But now they're getting their home valuation range. They're seeing their comparables, and they're actually able to change the home stats. So if it shows the beds, baths, square foot, lot, the first thing they can do is go in and edit those. It'll say, hey, are those right? If I'm at another AVM or another portal site, I can't change that number. I'm stuck with that number, whether it's accurate or not. Here they can. They can say, oh no, like the lot size is bigger, the square footage is higher. Then they'll see all the comparables that make up that range, and they can say, oh no, this is not a good comparable. And it'll interact and it'll recalculate. So this is really a level of accuracy that your contact would get if they messaged you and you did a CMA for them, and also higher engagement. Because face it, everyone's looking at Zestimate. We want them to look at Zestimate because we want them to see how inaccurate it is compared to this. The other thing we do on this page is show two AVMs. One of them is CoreLogic, which I think is used by HomeBot. The other is Adam, which is used by most. These two AVMs are used by most services out there. And we show them because we want to highlight that they're almost always different numbers. And underneath that, we show that, hey, these are computer models. Why don't you message me, your agent, and I'll do a home valuation report for you. So wherever we can, we've highlighted you as the local trusted expert. And this is one of the big reasons, because in Canada, this data is almost impossible to get. So that's a huge driver for what we're seeing consumers come back again and again for this home valuation, and you can't do that up north. The other area of the My Home is maintenance, right? Again, you positioned as the local trusted expert for all things real estate. So we do seasonal maintenance items, notifications, but you'll notice there, your name, your face, and call to actions. All these are doing is generating prompts for them to message you. That message appears to you as an email. So, hey, it's spring. I've got to check my drainage, HVAC filters, clean my curtains, clean my gutters. I don't know a gutter guy, or I need a plumber. My agent is there. Oh, do you need a referral? Do you have a question? Do you need me to look at a quote for you? Message me, your agent. And the whole kind of priority and strategy around this is to keep you top of mind. And I was talking with an agent actually last week about this, and he was like, "Look, I got my house done by a roofer last year. You know, I got a whole bunch of quotes. I went for the cheapest. He did a pretty good job. I recommended him again. And then just like a couple of weeks before I spoke to him, he was like, someone came up and said, hey, look, like I wanted to get my roof redone. Do you know anyone? And he couldn't remember that person because that person never reached back out to him. So if that roofer had, you know, bothered to call maybe once every few months, or even like once or twice a year, probably twice, and been like, hey, how's your roof? Do you need anything? Do you know anyone who needs anything? Okay, great. He would have been top of mind and he would have made a deal. Same thing with agents, right? That time between buying and selling a home is 8 to 15 years on average, depending on which region. So if you're not top of mind when, again, that moment happens, they're going to go with the first person they interview. And that's a stat. 74% of people go with the first agent they interview. And I find that insane because I look and spend more research when I'm buying a TV than the average person does when getting a realtor, right? So that's why we introduce these home maintenance items and these home ownership items.
So, Arshad, I actually, you know, have my own app downloaded now. I removed the old app and just like redid it and then added mine. And then I put in my address. And it is really nice. And when you click on maintenance at the bottom, it says summer, it knows it's summer, and then it tells me all the things I got to do. So, and it even gives you like average annual maintenance costs and like your checklist. Okay, I got to clean my faucets. I got to clean the dryer exhaust vent. I got to get a plumbing inspection. I got to change my smoke detectors. I mean, it's just good little things. So I really do like that.
Again, agents struggle with contacting people outside that transaction, right? So you're sending Christmas cards, Halloween pumpkins, Easter bunny chocolates. But again, that value is hard to drive. This is one of those things. Everyone needs to do at least some maintenance items on this checklist. So they're getting an email, or if they have the app, they're getting push notifications 4 times a year. It's not, you know, it's not a lot, but it's enough to keep you top of mind. So the next page here is the market trend. And this is really the market report that kvCore has always had. We just kind of made it much nicer and available in a mobile format. The cool thing about this is when your contact enters their address, it'll automatically create a market report for them. They can also track any other markets that they want to see. They can also, if you've added a market report in kvCore for them, that flows here. So they're getting notified at least once a month that, hey, there's new market information. And everyone's curious about what's newly listed in their neighborhood, what's the most expensive home going for, da, 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 da. We show all that here. And we capture all of this in kvCore. So if you go to your kvCore dashboard, you're able to see every time a consumer looks at their market report, looks at a listing, does a home valuation, all of that stuff is tracked back for you. By the way, this is a consumer app. There's no agent side of this, right? That's all built in kvCore. So if you're downloading this app and looking at where the agent login is, or if you're trying to log in with your kvCore credentials, it won't work because this is designed for you to give to your consumer. On the search side, what we wanted to do and say again, hey, Zillow exists. That sucks. How can we make a better search experience? Because we want to bump them off and get Zillow off your contacts phone. And you really can't do that unless you provide the same value and better. So we went for a portal quality experience for the search, you know, city, area, address, neighborhood, same basic stuff. But what we've done is, again, looked at how agents would have this conversation with their buyer or their seller. And one of the things that Zillow and the other portals do, if I go in and I say, hey, look, I want a home with a view, a pool, a 2-car garage, I'm only going to see homes with a view, a pool, and a 2-car garage. But we know that agents look on the periphery of it. I've given you a list of my 10 wants. You've found those good homes, but you've also found some homes that are really nice in my budget, but they might be missing 1 or 2 of those. So we want preferences in here where I can say, okay, I want all these things. Show me houses that have all of these, but also if they're missing 1 or 2, like still show them to me. And that's what this system does. The same thing with the pricing, right? I might say my budget is 800,000. You're going to probably bump that up a bit when you're looking for your client and say 805 is probably okay, 810 is probably okay. We're going to do that here in the filters. So it'll say, hey, 800,000 is what I set my budget at. It'll add at the top is 10%. I'll say, look, if you expand it to 880, you're going to see another dozen listings. If you drop your 3 bedrooms down to 2, you're going to see another 10 listings, and so on and so forth. By the way, because of all your filters, only 10% of houses in this neighborhood have listings. So it's really combating the consumer behavior that is over filtering. And you start with 1,000 listings and get down to 3. Oh, there's nothing in my neighborhood. I don't need this. So we're offering more transparency that, the portals don't. Also, and this is only going to apply for a very few of you, but the ones it does apply for, it's very powerful. How many of you live in a non-disclosure state? And that means states where your Zillow is not able to show the home, so the sold price. Bill, I saw you raise your hand there. Because the way we have built Core Home is that every contact is registered and they're registered to an agent. This is considered a back office MLS fee. What that means is for non-disclosure states where Zillow cannot show sold home pricing, you can. And that is a great tool for those people lucky enough to be in those states, because guess what? Everyone wants to know what the home next door sold for. Literally everyone. My mother called me last week while I was traveling and asked me to pull up a home on MLS, forgetting that I haven't been a realtor in 10 years. She really wanted to know. So this is a great reason, if you live and you're lucky enough to live in one of those states that Zillow can't show home sold data, this is something that will get people to remove Zillow and use you, right? There's still a lot of other features here that we want to give to, again, the goal is to get Zillow off of their phone.
I don't know if you are going to go back to this part, but what's cool about it, like when I open the app and I click on my search, I can click on search and then I can use my current location. It's going to find all the homes around me right now. Or I'm in Michigan. If I want to look at the homes in Orlando, Florida, I can find all the homes in Orlando, Florida right now, which is amazing because those of us, we have the specific MLSs we're connected to in kvCore, but with the app, your clients can interact with properties everywhere. And if they go to ask you a question about a property in a different area than you're in or a different MLS, the question is going to come to you, not to a different agent. So you'll be able to help them then get partnered with another agent so you can make a referral. So I don't know if you were going to say that, Arshad, so it didn't.
No, that's actually a great thing to point out. I should specify that is for EXP, because your brokerage, and it is a brokerage app, your brokerage has national search. For other brokers, it will be their broker's search. And that will happen if you're in a broker who's across the state of Florida, for example. Your MLS, your agent MLS might just be region specific. So if they look in another area, as long as that area belongs to your broker, then it'll show up as, hey, you're interested in this house? Contact a local agent. People get very upset about this one for some reason, but what all it is doing is it's emailing you to set up a referral. So like you said, Sylvia, if you're using the 360 home, if you're in Orlando and then you want to look up in California, it'll show that house and it'll show those details just like a public MLS, and it'll say contact a local agent. That emails you. So you can set up that referral so you can actually build business and again, continue that client relationship. Want to move quickly through the next couple of pages because these are brand new, by the way. We launched these at the end of May. So the maintenance, the transact, and the move were our brand new features that we're seeing some good response to. Transaction tracker is something that we wanted to give agents to give as a leave behind for their contacts. And what I mean by that is typically, statistically 93% of the time, your agent, you have the highest level of trust with your contact when they're in a transaction with you, right? So if my agent told me to do anything while they were my agent during a deal, I have very high likelihood of listening to them. So, hey buyer, here's my app. You can go and kind of see all the typical stages of a transaction. This isn't one-to-one with your deal, right? It doesn't pull in from SkySlope or anything else right now. We would like it to, that's a future project. But what it's doing is it's bringing a lot of transparency, clarity, and education to your contact. Because again, remember, they do this once every 8 to 15 years. You do this day in, day out. So a large part of your role is education. We wanted to help you with that and give them something that, hey, look, here's kind of the 3 title tracks. There are the 3 tracks that you have. There's title, there's due diligence, there's financing. Here's what's typically happening on a normal deal. What am I focusing on? What does this mean? So it's giving your client all this information, and here's a call to action. Oh, do you want to know what's happening specifically with your deal? Click here and it'll message you. So this is a tracker that the consumer drives. They'll go in and put in the address, put in the offer, the accepted date, the closing date, and all the contingency dates. So this will go along like little trackers, and it'll close that key actually does a little fun animation where it turns into a home door and stuff. But again, it's positioning you as the local trusted expert. This is my favorite one, actually, because moving sucks. And if you're buying or selling a home, you're typically going to have to move. So again, my agent has a lot of information and knowledge in what is probably one of the more frustrating areas of a transaction, right? Moving. So going to find a moving company. Oh, by the way, here's a tips and tricks doc inside the app, and they can download and save it as a PDF. They can take it with them. Here are all the things you should ask your mover. Are you bonded? Are you insured? What's your insurance information? Can you provide a previous client as a reference? Da 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 da. It's got your name, your face, your phone number on a branded document that, again, you're providing your consumer these questions so they can have the best experience. It's also tracking their move and saying, hey, look, here's a checklist of items that you probably need to do on your move. So I need to give notice. I need to book a truck rental. Maybe I need a storage unit. Maybe I need to order moving supplies. So check, check, check. So I make sure I'm not missing anything. Because again, this is usually a very hectic time for the average person. I hate moving, and I usually lose something when I move. Speaking of that, the other thing they can do here is track how many moving boxes they got. So I can pull up this form that says, hey, my kitchen has 8 boxes, my master bedroom has 10, my kid's bedroom has 6. So when I have moved in, I can do a very quick inventory and say, okay, kitchen's good, bedroom's good. They're missing 2 of my kids' boxes. I need to go contact them, which is great because in the system, not great that they're missing boxes, great because the system captures their contact information for the mover. So I can save my mover's contact information in the app. I can also look up their insurance information in the app as well. And we're bringing in features where they can change their USPS address and change their utilities and stuff like that coming soon. So this is a really great area to highlight. Hey, look, my agent provides a lot of value outside of that transaction.
And again, you guys, this is the app that your clients are they're going to put in their information. You're not going to set this up for them. They're going to do it, something for them to follow.
You literally don't have to do anything. And you'd be surprised. I'll show you some stats for EXP in a second here, but your consumers are using this. So the other thing we've done is built chat. We've built chat into the app, into the platform. You've got me saying it now. So every time there's a listing or in the My Home where they're seeing the other independent valuations, there's a call to action to contact you. And what we're trying to do is we looked at consumer behavior again. And when I'm going to Zillow, I might not be actively buying or actively looking, but I might see a home I really, really want to see. This thing is perfect. Wasn't interested, now I am. The path to least resistance for that person is to message one of the Zillow Premier agents that are showing right there on the screen, regardless of the fact that you were the last one to buy and sell their home. Here, we wanted to do that same thing. The path to least resistance about seeing a property is to message you. And we built in chat because you may have noticed right now in the industry, across all industries, marketing is getting hit hard with marketing emails being blocked by Google and other ISPs, and text messages with marketing being blocked and pushed back by AT&T, Verizon, all those other providers. So this isn't just kvCore, this is like MailChimp and everyone else out there. You're really struggling to redefine how we can get those marketing messages to your contacts, and the same thing with text. We've built chat because it's our control. So this is a one-to-one communication tool between you and your contact. Your contact can chat in 360 Home and Core Home. The agent side of this is in kvCore. So if you've got the kvCore app, you're getting push notifications. If you've got the kvCore web version open, you're going to get that little pop-up. If you haven't checked kvCore in a little bit, you're going to get an email that says you have a new chat. I think that's about 2 to 3 hours. It says you have an unread message. Go check kvCore. So we wanted to do is put your name, your face, and a call to action to message you everywhere in the app. And by the way, people are doing it, right? So this is 30 days as of, I think, like last week. But what we're seeing is, Redfin's got 105 million contacts in their system. You guys have some work to do because you need to get 105 million or more into your system and get them set up on some automation. But already in 30 days, and keep in mind, this has been launched in like November, December we rolled out national. 350,000 people have gone through. This is unique. We get about 1 million page views a month. 350,000 people have gone through just the EXP version of Core Home. This is about 400, 500,000. We're talking about all brokerages. The cool thing is 119,000 of those are return visitors. That's a great number because that means we're driving a large amount of first-time viewers into the system, and we're capturing a huge portion of them as returning. So we're building up this loyal following that are coming back and again and engaging again and again with this experience. They're spending almost as long on the core home pages as they are on Redfin. And core home doesn't have any long form content. We have no articles. We have nothing that's designed to get you like reading to inflate those numbers. We will eventually. We do want them to stay, we're going after Zillow, which has like 6 minutes on average. Your kvCore site, by the way, is usually about 45 seconds to a minute because it is designed strictly around capturing the contact information, not building that relationship. So here, they're coming through, they're seeing 5 pages, which is the same as Redfin. The cool thing about this stat is when I pulled it, we hadn't launched any of the new pages. So we only had really 5 pages. So they're going through, spending on average, almost 4 minutes, and they're going through all the pages. They're spending 2.5 times longer on the new listing pages than they are on the kvCore versions of those pages. And we've generated 6,400 conversations in the last 30 days. That means that your contacts have either emailed you back from one of those marketing emails, so the listing search, the market report, the home valuation emails, they've messaged through chat, or they've sent a text to a smart number. But these are consumer driven. That means that the engagement was started by the contact, by your client. So again, if you're looking at, you have a database of 1,000 people and you're only working with 50 to 100, we're targeting that other 900 people and getting them to start conversations with you, because that leads to business, that leads to closed deals, that leads to commissions. So it's the stats are really, really great. And they don't lie that people are spending longer, they're visiting, they're coming back, and they're contacting you again and again and again.
And Arshad, I haven't had a ton of people yet that I could see chat with me on it.
Put that top right next to your name. You can go into an individual contact, but there's that little chat bubble, very, very top.
Oh,
right.
yeah. Oh, thank you. Right here, it says show chats. Thank you. And then it'll show you what's been sent, so if I go to this one, if I click on this person, I can see this is what was sent to them. And is the check mark means they read it?
Yes.
Nice, like WhatsApp.
Been delivered and been read. Yeah, exactly.
And then I can click on it and see that it says last chat, what the conversation is. Now from here, I can click on this Arshad and then send another message right here. So I'm not. So it's nice as I'm not texting. I don't have their phone number, but I'm texting them essentially through the app. So that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, and it's a generational thing, but you're going to get more and more people who are familiar with chat than ones who want to pick up the phone and call. What's the big deal now? One of the things I do want to share, and this is kind of the last little tidbit here. Well, there's one more tidbit, but your contacts can share the app from inside the app. They go into little 3 dots, it'll pull up their settings, and one of the things is, hey, share Sylvia's app. What this does is pre-generate the text message, and that link is the direct share link that you all have. If the person they send it to downloads that app, that creates a new lead in kvCore. That goes for any time the app is downloaded or they register. So if you're sharing that direct share link on Facebook and someone's clicking through and downloading, registering for that app, they don't exist in your kvCore, that's a new lead. I've seen agents, and this is actually at the shareholders meeting that was a couple of weeks ago, an agent come up to me and says, I took that QR code that you can get if you open this on a computer, and I put that as my open house registration. And I thought that was a neat idea, because what he's getting them to do is go in and they'll scan the QR code and they're entering in their name, their email address, and then they can see the home. Right, it's replacing the other older QR code or the other form he had there. He's capturing leads, and then some of those are actually interacting with the app. The other thing you can do is take that QR code and put it on your flyers, your signs. You can share this. Agents are very creative. I've seen some really cool campaigns, the way to share this out. This is the one use case where I tell agents, you should go and download the app, but make sure you're the agent that's assigned to you, right? So Sylvia, you just downloaded it, you set yourself up as a contact, but you're the agent. because how many of you in a line at Starbucks or waiting somewhere have started a conversation about real estate? If you're not nodding yes, you're lying. You're not paying attention to me, because you all have. You can't help yourself. I know. At some point in that conversation, in that line in Starbucks, we're talking about real estate. You're going to feel the absolute need to give me your business card. You can't help yourself. It's okay. I understand. That business card, unfortunately, has a low rate of response, right? It's very reactive. It's waiting for someone to call you at the point they need a realtor. What I'm trying to tell agents to do is, hey, look, you're in line, start talking to this person. Hey, look, that was a great conversation. By the way, I've got this app that will, track your home ownership. You can do search, you can do that, everything. You can contact me too. What's your phone number? Most people at this point will find this now an awkward situation. And people are socialized in awkward situations to go the least path of resistance to get out of the conversation. I'm going to give you my phone number, even though I don't want to use this app and I won't download this app. I just want to get out of this. I'll go get my coffee and go. However, you've now got my phone number. So even if I don't download the app, even if I never continue on, you now have a way to market to me because I willingly gave you my phone number to end this. So it does require, it's a little awkward, but you're all a little awkward. So you got to push through that. And really, it's a great way to generate leads. Otherwise, you're waiting for that 1 in 1,000 to give you a call from their card.
Arshad, so just because I'm trying to wrap my head around it too, because a lot of people, hey Sylvia, how are you using this? I really haven't been using it yet, because now I wasn't confident to use it before, but now I am much more confident to use it. You said, you're now going to have somebody's number. Is that because I can go to my own app and then I can go to?
So if you go to this share, it should say share Sylvia's app.
Yeah.
Share your own name's app, by the way. If it doesn't show your name, it means you've registered to another agent. You should switch that.
Yeah.
But what it's doing is if you click that, it's pre-generating a text message.
Oh yeah. And then I'm just texting from my phone. Yeah. It's pre-generated the thing like, hey, here's Sylvia's app. Here's how you can get it. And then I can text it to them. Now I've got their phone number, and then I can go in after kvCore if I want to and put them on a text campaign.
The other way to use this is, again, 93% of people are happy with you at the end of a deal, right? Statistically, most of you are doing a phenomenal job. And the agents out there are like, hey, how do we do? Great. I loved you, Sylvia. You're a fantastic agent. That's great. Sylvia is going to ask me for a testimonial. I'm happy to provide. Hey, refer me out. Great. I will do that. Probably going to forget to do that. But the ones that are very excited and likely to refer you out, again, it's very passive for you. You have to wait for that one person to remember that I told them about you at the point they need an agent. However, most of your consumers at the end of a transaction will be more than happy to promote you, right? So, hey, it'd be really helpful for me if you've got my app, because by the way, I gave it to you during a transaction. It transitioned to my home ownership. It's a perfect post-close thing because you're going to get regular updates on your home. You're going to be able to get regular updates on your market. So even though we're done the deal, I'm still providing you value. I'd love to be able to, provide that same level of value to people you know. Would you mind sharing my app and doing it this way? That's creating leads in your contact system every time someone downloads the app, right? So you're no longer waiting passively. You're actually, for those people who go through and download the app, that is a huge marker of high intent. If someone's downloading your app, that means they are very seriously engaged with your relationship with you. And they're spending longer and they're able to message you directly. That's why we have the app. The web experience, 90% of the traffic will always go through web. But the ones who download the app are going to deeper and deeper engage with you than just the ones on the web.
You know what I wish, Arshad, or maybe some people have it, but in the filters where I can find all the homes for sale near me right now, all the rentals that are on the MLS near me right now, which I like, and the sold, I wish it also had pending.
It does, depending on the market.
Oh, okay. So
the first one by default is all for sale and under contract.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, I see. So under, yeah. Okay, so under the for sale one, I had the status of coming soon and active or contract pending. So I do have that. Oh, okay, that's nice.
I do want to share this. Like, we launched maintenance moving transaction a couple of weeks ago. We launched this in December. We actually started building this app last year in, I think, like January. So it's come a long way. We've actually rebuilt the back end once already. But our goal, we joke in our office that we're going to work on this till we die. We also joke that this is what's going to kill us. But the point is we're not launching this and just walking away from it. We're actually committed to bringing more and more features to show your value. Again, it's that perception that you're valuable for the transaction and not outside of it. We're putting that on its head and saying you are the local trusted expert. Here's how I can help you. So showings, the buyer's wish list, equity and expenses, the renovation calculator, tracking your documents, what's going on in your neighborhood. Also, we want to build an agent side to this in kvCore. How many people downloaded the app? How many people are seeing which page? How many people shared the app and which ones? If I have someone who might be like crazy referring me out, I want to know who they are so I can go buy them a steak dinner or something like that. So this is our 2023 roadmap. We might not hit all these items at software, but this is just to show you that, look, we're really committed to building out this experience for you guys. And 2024 has the same, if not more, in terms of feature release. So we're going to be working on this, and it's just going to make you guys look better and better and better. Before we get to the questions that I have, there's really only two things you need to do to take advantage of all this functionality. Three things. One, kvCore, make sure your profile is there and your picture, unlike mine, is more recent than 10 years old. Because I think mine hit 10 years last month. So go in there, update your profile, make sure your phone number and everything is right. Two, upload your contacts into kvCore. Very important, because if they're not in the system, they can't do anything about it. Three, go in and set those contacts up on automation. And Sylvia, I'm sure you've got a whole bunch of classes and speeches on how to do this. Four, I lied. I know there was only two. Share the direct share page. Really, it's a lead generation tool for you. And again, people who are going through that and downloading the app are higher intent and they're seeing you as their agent. So I'll stop there.
If you're at EXP, you have this. If you're at a different brokerage, you may have the Core Home app, but and it's called Core Home, or you may not. And if you don't, then you can ask your broker to add it on. What I want to say is it's not, there's things that aren't perfect when they roll stuff out, and that's okay. When I first started using kvCore and I saw the power of its lead generation and all the different things it could do, it's so massive, and there would be glitches, there'd be problems here and there. And I was, and I kind of was like, I had an attitude about it sometimes. It's like, and I felt like I used to call kvCore a bad boyfriend with money. Like, I know it's going to get me a lot of leads, but it's like not taking good care of me sometimes. That's what I felt like. Then over time, I continue to see the value of it, continue to use it. And again, it's not perfect. Now I'm married to it. I'm married to kvCore. I mean, I could divorce it if I wanted to, but I'm married to it. It's like a marriage. I consider it like a marriage because it's not perfect. But what's beautiful is because of how Inside Real Estate operates and how kvCore team operates, they really see you as the agents, as their partners to make this thing successful. And I know we can all get very frustrated about technology and we can get really nasty because part of it is, yes, somebody's not understanding our problem and they're not helping us solve it. That's how we feel. So we can get very nasty about it. And I understand that. But at their core, Inside Real Estate, all of the staff, they have a great product here, and we get to help build it by giving constructive feedback and nothing. It's not going to be handed to you on a silver platter, this perfect thing right now. And no technology is like that. And you're lying to yourself if you think there's any perfect technology like that. Facebook business pages, for example.
The FAA crashed a month or so ago. Remember?
Yes.
Things in the US grounded. So yeah, it's software. But we do the best. And the thing with us, and the thing I really love my company for, is that we don't stop. All of our products are being worked on, being improved. We just launched a new core listing machine and new design center like last week. So, you saw the roadmap for this. If you are having issues, my best suggestion is to go through support.
We'll keep working with it. We're going to make it work. That's what make this thing work because it's really cool. It has so much potential. So whenever I'm like, I can't quite figure this out and I just want to know the answer, go to here, support training, support docs, see all articles on kvCore, for example. And then I can go to, like I say, at Core Home. I'm just gonna type in Core Home FAQs, boom. And then it tells you this is what is Core Home, what does it include? Is it an app or a website? Is kvCore going away? How are contacts assigned? So it's all right here.
Sylvia, I downloaded it on my phone and on my website. What is the best way to share this with our kvCore contacts? Send a mass email to the kvCore people in kvCore saying this is a new feature. Please go down there.
Here's okay. So no, that's good. I see what you're saying. So there's a couple things. Number one, anytime one of your prospects is on a search alert, they're on a listing valuation, they're on a market report subscription. When they get those emails, it's coming from the app. So if somebody clicks on it, they are basically opening the app, creating an account, and then invited to download it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's a bunch of different ways. Again, if you have them on any of those automated emails, they're gonna get they're gonna get into Core Home as soon as they click into any of those emails, right? They're gonna be taken to the new versions of the listing page, the My Home, and so on. If you want to share it on your newsletter, take that direct share link, right? That's just a URL. You can copy and paste that anywhere. You can also screenshot that QR code and put that into your newsletter as well. Like that, I've seen agents do some really cool things, right? That open house, that on the flyer, that sharing in Starbucks, that's all agents that have come back to me and told me that here's how I've done this and it worked really well.
So go back to my app on the website and copy that URL,
that link.
That link. Okay.
Yes.
You wanted to send an email like marketing the app to, hey, you guys, guess what we have? This is what you can do in it. You can track your home maintenance, you can track any transactions, whatever, and so, I mean, I'm going to be thinking of some strategies myself that I can share with you, how I'm going to get my consumers to interact with it. If I'm looking at a search result as my personal self and I see a listing I want to share with somebody else, is there a share this listing feature in the app?
No, but it's on our immediate roadmap. So it should be plugged in some point this year.
All right.
I got another question. Good morning. I am in Southern California, and the default market that's showing, it's San Ramon, California. So all the hot listings are from the Bay Area or up north. How can I change that?
Okay. All you got, that's because you're EXP, yes?
Yes.
So your designated broker is in that area. So it's the same for me. When I go to open it up, it'll say I click on my market, for example, or my search, and it's going to default to Troy, Michigan, which is 2.5 hours away from me. And then I just go, and then what I do is I just go into the search here, and then and at the top it says draw search or filters. So I can click on it, and then it gives me the option of use my current location or choose any location, type in any location. So
okay, but so it'll always revert though to the market. I mean, for the hot listings immediately when they open the app, the default area that they're going to see is San Ramon.
No, it's going to ask them for their address. And if they give you the address, it's going to default that as the market. So what you're seeing is if they go to search for the first time, then yeah, it'll default to you because of EXP. And you can't change that. That's a DRE regulation.
All it's gonna do, so like when it goes here, I see, oh, okay, that's Troy, Michigan. And then I click on search and I say use current location or choose any or type in any location I want. And then it's gonna show me all of the listings in the area that I want. Oh, Donna, she owns her own boutique brokerage. How best should she research how to offer this to her agents in her brokerage?
So right now, Core Home is limited to enterprise brokers. Again, you would be able to sign up for the Core Home, the agent app when it's launched. So we don't have it right now. Stay tuned. We'll probably be emailing everyone when that Core Home app launches.
You guys, I mean, so we could go on and on about this. And here's what you're going to probably have to do. I want you to get into it, play around with it, use it as a consumer, look at it from the agent side inside the inside the actual kvCore dashboard, looking at, how a contact will start interacting with you. Look at the search alert pages and the listing valuation pages that go out and are connected to the app, and start playing around with it. And then you're going to get better understanding. If you want to go look at the support articles inside kvCore support docs to read more about it and understand it, do that. And then maybe, we can, in a few weeks, come back to it. I'm going to be working with it too, and maybe come up with some different strategies for using it, promoting it, getting more use out of it, because it's got so much potential. It really, really does. And we're just going to have to take some time to work it. I mean, I know, like somebody mentioned, well, I just don't have time to do everything. I don't have time either, but I make the time. And I just tell my, I know that if I learn this a little bit more, not only am I going to be help you guys more, but I'm going to get so much more use out of it. By understanding how to work it. And I'm going to have to make the time. Mary Ellen, and also somebody else asked about, could this replace HomeBot or HomeSnap? Well, I don't think you need HomeBot at all if you're using kvCore, first of all. Okay. And definitely you don't need HomeSnap. That's my opinion. What do you think, Arshad?
Actually, if you've downloaded the app and go into the My Home, one of those AVMs we show you, one of them is the number from HomeBot. And I think the other is the same number. Like I think HomeSnap uses the same feed. So we can't technically call it HomeBot, but they're using the same feed. So you can go ahead and replace that with this tool that you have. I saw one there, Cheryl, about RE/MAX agents not having this. So we have one RE/MAX brokerage signed up for it. RE/MAX associates in Utah are using it and they're loving it. Your broker needs to sign up. So it's something where, again, if they are an enterprise level brokerage, that means like 125 agents and above for IRE's definition, they can get it. If not, then they need to wait till we release our Core Home app for agents that we're launching soon.
Good. And I just have to say, because I just have to, okay, you guys, I have been teaching kvCore since 2018. I'm an agent like you. I'm selling real estate. I have a small team and I have a lot of value to offer you. So not only do I have my coaching program where I'm working with agents, team leaders, independent brokers, and agents at EXP as well, to help them get more use out of this and help them lead generate and convert. Not only am I doing that, but we also have a nice support staff. We have multiple different type of training options. I'm going to put my website in the chat. And I just want to say, if you're not at EXP, I just have to say this, if you're not at EXP and you want more of these tools that we do have at EXP, you could partner with me at EXP and get all my stuff for free. I just have to say that because I don't say it. I don't normally say it. You guys, I just put my website in the chat. So make sure that, you check out all the free resources I have for you, the paid resources as well. And that's it.